Yes, we lost our town. It must have been 50 years ago now. And I remember it clear as day. But when we lost our town, people were bitching and moaning for years after, saying we was robbed. It was stolen from us. Here's how it happened. You see, we had a sheriff at the time, John the Smiling Assassin Key, we called him. He was a charming guy, but underneath he had the heart of a gunslinger, a ruthless killer. He was fond of gold. So when he disappeared suddenly, we all thought he had gone chasing gold in California. And other people say he was taken out by a bullet from Annie, the smiling killer ARDERN. She was like an Annie Oakley. She was quick on the draw. And she had a ruthless sidekick with her, James the Green-Eyed Killer Shore, his name was. And so our deputy sheriff at the time was Big Bad Bill English. And Big Bad Bill, he gets the wind up because he hears the trouble's coming. He hears that these two are coming to town. So he gathers all the men with rifles and says, I want you to come down to the saloon and fight for your town and fight for me as your new sheriff. He said, well, I want to be sheriff, and let's see if we can't run these two out of town. So we all gathered there. I was there too. I was just a boy at the time, and I was petrified. I was so scared because I could hear the clip-clop of the horses' hooves coming down the street. And then there was silence. You could have cut the air with a knife because the saloon doors just flung open. And there she's standing, Annie, the smiling killer ARDERN, next to James, the green-eyed killer Shore. And Annie says, your time's up, Bill. I'm your new sheriff around here. And Bill says, we'll see about that. And he says, let's have a show of hands, folks. Who do you want to be a new sheriff? And I was so scared, I put up my hands for everybody because I did not want to be shot. And anyway, see, Bill says, see, there's more hands for me, Annie. You better get out of town. I'm going to be the new sheriff. And then suddenly there's a graunching, a grinding noise from the corner around the poker table and a chair being flung back, and then getting to his feet is Winnie Watch Your Back Peters. He's an old guy, but he was a gunslinger from way back and poker player. And he gets up to his feet, and everybody cows and gets under the tables because everybody feared Winnie Watch Your Back Peters. And he comes forward, and he gets right in the face of Big Bad Bill English and says, your time's up, Bill. He said, I'm going to decide this. And he says, I've already decided it's going to be, our lady here is going to be the new sheriff, Annie. And I'm going to be the deputy. And Bill says, we'll see about that, Winnie. And he goes for his gun. But before he can even touch his .45, it's shot out of his holster by Annie, the smiling killer ARDERN. She was quicker than a rattlesnake. And she said, see, Bill, I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot his deputy. She said, I've spared your life. So you're free to go and get out of town. I never want to see you again. So Bill, he could see his time's up. So he slinks out of that saloon like a coyote. And ever since that time, Annie was our sheriff. And I swear to God, everything I told you is true. I swear on my mother's grave.